Hey guys, welcome to Pilates Stretch and Mobility. We're going to be doing a non-stop flow of exercises and stretches and no repeat. So we're going to kind of go onto something different and then on something different and then on something different. So we're not going to come back around and do one side then do the other side. We're just going to flow, go with it and enjoy. So this is going to be about 35 to 40 minutes long. And I just want you to try and keep a consistency going. And hopefully you can see me. I'm not too silhouetted in this dull world that we're living in at the moment. So we're going to start at the backs of our mat. So bring yourself down. You might have my head slightly cut off. I can't get the camera angle to get a full view at the moment. Spread your toes, ground down through your feet. And then lift your eye gaze straight ahead. Take a breath in, let your whole body just relax, and let's roll those shoulders up, back and down. I want you to do a few going up, back and down, and then take it the other way. So you're lifting up, scooping back and forward. Just letting the shoulders come down. And then stop, and then big arm rolls back. Just crossing your arms over as they come forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades back together. And then go forwards, up, back and over. Just warming up that shoulder joint. And then bring your fingertips on top of your shoulders. And then bring your arms forward, squeezing back. And reverse. So just three different motions, three different points of motion there. Bring your arms back down by your side. Open your palms, spread your fingers, and let's take the arms up and over. Interlace your fingers at the top, take your full stretch. Bend the knees, squeeze the buttocks, abs engaged, and then just look up and try and do a little back bend, pushing your hips forward. So squeeze the butt, supporting your lower back as you lift and lengthen up. Then we lift up tall, soften the knees again, open the arms and take a dive forward. Now make sure you're flattening your back and then softening your spine to drop down towards the floor. We're going to bend the knees enough to get hold of the toes, the big toes. We're going to bend the knees and sink our bottoms down behind like we're doing a really deep squat. And then lift your eye gaze, pull your shoulders back. So it doesn't matter if you haven't gone far, just think about lengthening your spine, engaging a little bit deeper into the lower belly, and then extending the legs as we sink down. Eye gaze forward, drop your bottom, bend the knees. Imagine you're sitting down into a chair, you're trying to get a 90-degree angle through the legs. And extend. And bend. Eye gaze forward, shoulder blades back. And extend. We're going to do one more of these. Sink the chest down to the thighs. Then lift your eye gaze, squeeze the belly, push your bottoms back, bend those knees. Lift the chest and then sink down. Straighten those knees, drive your chest down towards the thighs. Take another 2 deep breaths here. Try and extend the knees, lift your bottom to the sky. Press your weight forward into those toes. And then release the toes. Slide your hands to the top of the kneecaps. And then scoop your belly in tight. Curve the spine. Roll up. Stacking your spine. Lifting your eye gaze. Taking a shoulder roll again. 3 times. Then bring your hands onto your waistline with fingers forwards or sitting on top of your hip bones. And step your left leg forward. So I'm going to mirror you. I'm going to do my right leg forward. So I know that I'm slightly angled, but left leg forward. So once you've got your leg extended forward, the back leg is extended with the heel off the ground and your hip bones facing directly forward. We're going to take a breath in. I want you to drop down into a lunge and a breath out to come back up. So nice easy lunge to start with. And you might want to just stick with this, finding your balance. Make sure your feet run in line with your hips, so your leg at the back isn't too far behind the other one. If you wish to add the arms, drop down, raise your arms up, come back, squeeze behind. Drop down, raise the arms, squeeze back behind. So mobilizing those shoulders, squeezing through the belly. So I'm trying to drop both my legs to a 90-degree angle without letting my front knee fall forward over my ankle or my toes. 4 more of these. Squeeze back into those shoulder blades. Raise those arms. Feel the stretch down the front. Just be careful when you raise those arms that you don't protrude forward in the hips. Stay beautifully straight. Whoop, through the spine. That's what happens. You lose your balance. Last 2, I think. Might have done an extra 1, sorry. We hold this last one down. So lengthen those arms if you can. Press up and down. 9, 8. Right into that front buttock. Wake it up. Last 5. 4, we're going down to the ground. 2, and drop it down. Fingertips down either side of that foot. Wriggle it forward if you need to. And then tuck your toes under that back leg. You can keep the knee down if you wish and extend that knee. Right hand to the floor. Open out. Reach the left arm to the sky and turn the body towards that left thigh. Squeeze the shoulder blade and look up. So options to be down here. If you reach out like a twist, hand on the thigh and just turn and look up. They're your 3 options. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then we bring the hand back down. Lengthen out through the spine. Now everyone lower that back knee. Options to stay here. Or if you can, bring your hands inside and dip a little bit lower down. Bending through the elbows, and some of you might be able to drop your elbows to the ground quite comfortably. The important thing about this stretch is your back leg is as far back behind as possible. Your front knee sits above your ankle. So I don't want to have your knee protruding forward. That's just going to take a lot of pressure on your knee joint. So just be careful of your positioning. I'm very tight. My hip flexors are going to stay on my hands. I'm going to bend my knees and I'm going to try and lengthen my spine forward a little bit more. Find the breath. Now, I'm going to keep my hands where they are. So if you've got on your elbows, come up onto your hands, tuck your toes under at the back, lift that leg and turn yourself onto the side of your mat, rotating your feet. Now, don't go too wide. You might want to bring your feet in a little bit. And then just bring your hands or your fingertips to the ground, lift and lengthen up through the spine, fold forward and just stretch the back of those hamstrings and slightly into those inner thighs. We're going to come into a nice plie squat position to work again into those legs. So just take a couple more breaths, stretching here. And then come up onto your fingertips and then bring your heels and toes a little bit closer. Then heels with your toes turned out. Scoop the belly in, roll up, shoulder roll, and then sink down into a plie squat. So my knees are turned out in line with my big toes or the middle toe. My arms are going to come forward. Or if you want more of a challenge, your arms are straight up. Keep that back beautifully straight. And we're just going to press up. Lift your heels, drop them, and drop down. If you wish, you can use the arms, lifting up as you drop, coming back as you lift the heels. So arms in the air the whole time is a little bit more challenging. If you wish, challenge it. Relax a little bit more into the shoulders, keep you away from your ears. Lift. Now, just make sure those knees aren't collapsing inwards. I see it happen so much. You've really got to keep going on top. You've really got to focus on pushing those knees out as far as possible. And then losing your balance. And your back is flat. So give me 4 more, please. Come on, open those knees. Drop that bottom down. Squeeze the belly in tight. Lift that chest. Last one, we hold down. Options to stay here and pulse. If you're more of a challenge, lift the heels. Open those knees. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then lift all the way up, drop the heels. Bring your hands around the base of the spine. Interlace those fingers, reach forward and drop down. Parallel those feet again. And let your head and chest drop down. Take your weight into your toes, lifting your arms as high as possible. So just keep breathing. It's so important you breathe because your exhalation allows a little bit more give in your body. Carefully bring your fingertips to the floor. Take a breath and then turn your body the opposite way. So now I'm going to turn my back to you. I'm going to parallel my feet and I'm going to slowly soften through the belly, bring my hand onto that front knee and just roll myself up. Bringing my hands onto my waist, coming up onto my toes at the back. My heel is elevated. We're going back to those lunges. So we take a breath in to begin. It's funny having my back to you. Exhale, drop straight down. So now your right leg is your leg in front, your left leg is the one behind. And if you wish, arms. Squeeze it back behind. I'm just going to take my jumper off, get a bit warm in here now. Big elevation, squeeze. Take that weight into that front buttock. We're going to go 4 more. Make sure you're beautifully upright. You're not leaning back, you're not leaning forward. That front knee is going directly over the ankle. Last one. Pause there. Pulse. 10, 9, 8. Go a little bit low if you can. Straighten those arms. Really press into that front buttock. Last 2. And 1, we're going down to the floor. Bring your hands either side of that foot. Slide the knee back a little bit. Take a breath in, tuck your toes, stay on your knee on the ground, or if you can, lift it up to extension. Left hand by the side of the foot, hand on thigh, rotate. This might be enough for you, or open the arm and look up towards that right hand. Sink your hips down a little bit more, extend that back knee unless your knee is here, that's fine, or you might be back here. 2 more breaths, twist, twist, twist. And then bring the hand back down by the side. Lower that knee at the back. Your hands can stay here. This might be enough of a hip flexor stretch for you. Or otherwise, put your hands inside the foot. Slide that leg away and drop down. If you wish, you can come to your elbows. Try and lengthen the spine, lift your chest up. Nice long deep breaths. And my hip flexors are so tight. This is really nasty stretch for me. I can feel that actually through my front thigh more than I can on my hip flexor. So your tight areas will feel this. If you are on your elbows, come up onto your hands. Tuck your toes under, lift the knee. Come back to that lengthways on the mat, paralleling your feet. Come up onto the fingertips, lift and lengthen the spine. Get a really nice strong tabletop position. Exhale, fold forward. Now you might want to stay here, do a bit more of a challenge. Take your right hand, catch your left leg, and you can place your left hand on top of that leg as well, and then bend through the right elbow, drive your chest down towards that thigh. So it doesn't matter whether you're catching your leg up here, that's fine. Just find the leg and dive down. Or bring your feet a bit narrow, further in, and just work from there. And let's take it to the other side. Left hand catches the right leg and you melt the chest down. Try and straighten the knees. And then bring your hands back down. Turn back. So I'm turning back to face you. Hands over the foot. Take it back. Plank. Now we're going to lift our hips up to downward facing dog. So set yourself up to a lovely, strong dog position. Take a little bend and extend through your legs. And then begin to walk your hands to your feet. Now this is your starting point. So first of all, take that lovely hamstring stretch again, bending the elbows, chest towards the thighs. And then we're going to walk out 4 times, 2, 3, and 4. Pause. We're going to pull the right knee forward to the chest for 1, left side, 2, right, 3, and 4. Pause. We're going to turn our feet onto the edge of our mat. So I've now turned to the edges of my feet. It allows me to open up the body and come up into a side plank. And you're going to just rotate under 4 times. If it's too much, drop that knee on the floor, that underneath leg, and just work from there. Okay, that's your alternative. 3, and if your hands and wrists don't like it, drop to your elbows, adapt it to suit you. And that's 4, rotate back to center. Turn the other way, lift up and sink under. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll back to the middle, pause on a plank. Take a breath in, inhale, lift the hips, exhale, drop for 10, 9, 8. Options, drop your knees if it's too much, and just be careful if you do, you don't sink your hips too far down. Last 4, 3, 2, 1 more, and 1. Drop the knees, drop yourself carefully down to the ground. Pause here for a breath. Now bring your hands to the sides of your shoulders, tuck your elbows in, lift your head, lift your chest, activate the backs of your arms, and just lift up halfway. So my triceps are activated. Now, I see people do this with their shoulders hunched up. Pull your shoulders back and down, away from those ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades, and then think about pushing through the back of the arm, and we're going to press for 10, 9, pin the feet to the floor, 8, 7, use the backs of those arms, 6, squeeze the belly, squeeze the back, 4, 3, come on, lift it up, 2, 1 more, and 1, release down, slide the hands underneath the forehead, take a breath. Take the knees wider, close the heels, and lift the thighs up and down, squeezing through your butt cheeks. So I press my heels together to lift my knees and thighs off the ground, and then release. And at the same time, try and drop as much tension out of the front of the body, the top of the body, I mean, sorry. 7, 8, last 2, 9, hold this one up, and pulse, 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 squeeze, squeeze, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Let the legs drop down, take a wriggle in the hips. Slide your fingertips back to the side of the head. Inhale, lift the chest up off the ground. We're going to side bend. So we're going to take the elbow towards the hip, reach the hand towards the thigh, return the hand back, center yourself and drop back down. Lift it up, side bending to the left, reaching the left arm to touch the thigh, back and to the center and down. So listen to the points of contact. Inhale up for 1. Exhale, side bend for 2. Inhale, reach for 3. Exhale, back for 4. Inhale, back to center for 5. And exhale, down for 6. Inhale, up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back to the head. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, drop down. 6 points of tension. And at the same time, get those toes pressed into the ground. Squeeze the butt cheeks. Keep everything active. 1 more each side. Lift, side bend, reach, back, center, down. Up, reach, hand, back to the head, back to center, and release. Pause here, take a quick breath. Don't lose that tension. Raise your head and chest. Pull your elbows up and pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Let your whole spine sit deep into the ground. Let everything just be relaxed. Slide your right hand out to the side. Take your left hand side the shoulders. Begin to turn your body facing the left side, bending your left foot behind your right leg, and using your left arm, stretch out that right shoulder, right in front of the kind of the shoulder joint. You might get it across the chest. And the more you twist and turn, the more you'll feel that stretch. You may need to wriggle your arm up or down to get a little bit more. Can be quite strong, quite nasty, but very, very beneficial. There's a lot of tension across that joint. And then we roll back to center. But before we do, take this hand, get hold of the foot, put it towards the bottom, knees together, roll yourself back and stretch out that quad. Now this might be enough for you, so I just want you to push your hips down, pelvis down, and enjoy that stretch. If you want a little bit more, slide the right arm forward, lift your head and chest, and lift that thigh if you can, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Always take a little wriggle. The second you've been working any tension into your lower back, just loosen up like this. Yeah, all the muscles that are kind of all just tensed up, just start to free themselves. Yeah, so it's really beneficial just to give a little wriggle through the hips. Loosens everything in the sacrum. So we're going to take our left arm out to the side, right hand side of the shoulder, roll ourselves over, and then take that right foot behind the left. And just work and opening up the front of the shoulder here. So the more you rotate, the more you push that right arm up, the more you'll feel that stretch. And you want to hold it for a good 20 to 30 seconds. Don't be afraid to take a lot of discomfort. Just don't want pain or pain in the wrong places. Take another one deep breath here. And before you roll back, see if you can just transition to that quad stretch, heel to bottom, knees together. Then if you can, roll back onto the front. And if this is enough for you, just push your hips and pelvis down as you lift the knee off the ground. Or if you want more, float to the left arm and lift that right leg up high. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Released. Hip wriggle. Slide your hands by the side of the shoulders, and let's carefully transition to child pose. Hand stretch. Big toes together, knees apart, lengthen out through the arms, elbows off the ground, bring them close to the head, and reach those fingers forward as you pull your bottom back into your heels. We lift our eye gaze, we lift ourselves up, we take a curve of the spine. And then make like a kind of C shape, an S shape. And then just wriggle side to side. Sway the arms, sway the shoulders, wriggle the hips. There's no right or wrong. Just move the body, get some movement in there. We just kind of walk very stiffly. So we need to allow that give through the body. And then once you're done, tuck your toes under, lift your hips. And then you can either step through and come sit to your bottom, or take a little jump into cross legs. That wasn't the best demo. Then take your legs out in front. Bend your knees, feet onto the floor. Part your knees, take hold of the ankles, so big diamond shape through the legs, and just sink down and stretch, open that spine as you allow the knees to fall apart. And just take a few breaths in. Roll it up, hands onto the shins, and lift up. Pull. So use that grip of your legs to pull your chest forward and your shoulders back. It's nice to lose my trousers halfway through doing that. Oh. And then we're going to take it to some abdominal oblique crunches. So we curve the spine. And then as you do, scoop the belly in, hands to the side of the head or across the shoulders. And we pick up the right leg and we twist the left elbow to touch it, bringing the feet together again. Other side. Twist, touch. Twist, touch. So this is your kind of easier one. If that's too much, come up, turn, drop back down, come up, turn. So you end up kind of still doing that little side crunch, but you're keeping the legs down. Okay, or you can go side to side, you can play with it. Or if you want a bit more of a challenge, hands side of the head, drop down, twist, down, twist. Wherever you are, give me 8 more. Or you keep your legs on the floor, come up, turn, drop back, scoop the belly in, turn. Lots of options. Work what you've got. 4 more. See, I'm dropping down and lifting up. You don't have to do that either, but it just works more into the upper abs. And when you've done your last one, pistol grip with fingers through, pulse, okay, or pulse, touch the toes, 7, 6, 5, keep those knees open, scoop those bellies in tight, last one, and drop them down again. Stretch down, take a breath, lift your eye gaze, and then slide the heels as close in towards you as you can. Butterfly position. I'm linking around the outside of my feet, pulling my shoulders back, chest up, pushing those knees down. Wonderful strong stretch to the groin, hips. You do a little bit of moving through there. Two more breaths. Then just bring those knees together. Slide your legs down. Bring your fingertips down to just get that spine positioning again. Nice strong spine. Inhale, reach the arms up. Float the arms in front of your shoulders and press forward and forward. So I've got my shoulders relaxed. I'm just reaching. And this mobilizes your spine and your hamstrings. Two tight areas, they all kind of interlink. So it just wakes them up a little bit, reaching beyond those toes. Last two. One more. Good. Now reach and lengthen up. Take a big stretch forward. Grab your feet. Use a band or a strap if you need to, or just slide your hands underneath the calves. And then reach your head and chest down, stretching out the back of those legs. And then inhale, lift up. We're going to take those legs wide. Now, usually I'd say if your legs don't go very wide, sit yourself on a block, but we're going to be moving our bodies and try it. Sit yourself on a block, see how it feels. We're going to be doing side-to-side twists, and sometimes because you're moving, the block will fall out. But if you've got a nice flat block, get yourself up elevated a little bit, or use cushions. Cushions are a good thing to use for this. Cushions or pillows or something that will just lift you, basically. So find your positioning and then lift yourself up tall. Take your arms wide. We lift up using our core. We turn our bodies towards our right foot, and then reach the left arm across and down towards that foot and press. 5, 4, try and keep your buttocks firmly on the ground. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, rotate. And then the other side. You're reaching the right hand to the left leg. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift, reach up. Again, we turn, we rotate. So the other arm just midi rotates behind, coming behind us. 3, 4, 5. Lift up, lengthen, turn, reach. 5, 4. Try and keep that buttock on the floor. I can feel it wants to lift up on this side, so we're going to really force it. 2, 1. Inhale, lift up. We bring our arms together, pistol grip. We sink the belly in. This time we roll back. So if you are on a cushion, perhaps lift it up now. Scoot the belly in, come back to here. Lift your right leg up, drop it down in the middle. Lift your left leg up, drop it down in the middle. Drop down a little bit lower, and we inhale here. We exhale, right leg lifts up. We touch up, we drop it down. And the other side. Left and the right. So if you're tight in your hamstrings, the challenge is to keep the legs straight. So if you're really struggling, bend the knee and reach. My knee bends in between the arms and I just reach towards the toes. Okay? But if you want a challenge, get those legs straight. We're going to do 8 more. 8. Sink back, reach. 7. Sink back, reach. 6. And breathe. Exhale. Last 2. One more. And roll it down, interlace the fingers, 4 body stretch up and over. Dome the abs and then press the spine down as you pull your toes in, push your heels away, the arms are extended. We slide our arms out to a T shape. We bring those knees in towards the chest. If you wish, you can give a little hug just to ease up a little bit. Open the arms out, tabletop position. We inhale, drop the knees over towards the left, eye gaze to the right, top leg extends, flexes through the foot, straightening out that hamstring. Inhale, draw it back to center, over to the other side, and extend the left leg. So just note that my knees are staying together. I'm trying not to let my thighs slide away. And that will challenge yourself. And then if you wish, we can start to add 2 legs. It's your choice. See how you feel. And extend both. Point the toes, bend the knees. Turn your head the other way. Extend both. Please only do this if your hamstrings are up for it. I don't want you to feel any strain in your lower back. I don't care how much your abs hurt, because that's a good thing. Working those obliques. So we're going to do 4 more. Last one, over to the right. And then we come back to the center one more time. Pause here. Take a breath and exhale, drop all the way over to the left. Put that hand on the legs and then twist and reach that right shoulder to the floor. Spinal rotation. And because we haven't had a good old proper stretch into those hamstrings, take hold of that leg with my elbow on the ground. I'm cupping the calf. My fingers, my thumb and my fingers are kind of holding it, and I'm pushing my leg as straight as possible as I drive my toes up towards me. And at the same time, I'm going to pull my hip away from my foot, so my upper body's going the opposite way. But just be very mindful to how your back's feeling. And also, when you've got hold of that leg, try not to drop the foot to the floor. Keep it up level with your hips, so it kind of all flows in parallel positions. See if you can straighten the knee, pull your toes a little bit higher. 2 more breaths here. Carefully bend the knees back together. Engage your abs, lift your legs up into the center. Pause in the middle, give a little hug. A little roll around on that lower back. Now, before we go to the other side, we're going to pause here. Take your arms back out to T. Straighten your legs up to the ceiling. And we're going to drop one leg out to the side. Scoop it round and up into the middle. And then to the other side. Left leg, down and around, back up. So this is a long lever. And if it doesn't work for you, if you're struggling with this, then I suggest you come to tabletop, open the knee, swim kick it into one leg breaststroke, open, swim kick there. And then just be wary that when you drop that leg, don't let the opposite hip lift off the floor. The challenge here is to use your core to complete control over that circle. Do 1 more either side. We're going to carry on here, but we're going to change the direction, which is a bit easier, I think. Right leg drops down, opens out and scoops all the way back up. Left leg drops out to the side and back. And again, you could be here, extending, bending it all the way through to the end, extending, opening it out and bending it in. There's your option. 2 more each side. One more. Pause there, take a breath, bend those knees, and let's pop them all the way over to the right. Once they've landed, slide the hand on top and take a spinal rotation. Left shoulder to the floor, eye gaze towards the left hand. Of course, it's optional. You don't have to have your hand on there. If you're feeling that just a twist on its own is enough for you, stay there. I'm slightly tight this side. My shoulder doesn't like to be down on the floor, so it's a bit more of a challenge for me. Take some long, deep breaths. And after your next breath, you can begin to extend that leg, catching the leg with the hand, and then pushing the leg as straight as possible, toes pulled in, sliding the toes up towards you, straightening that knee, and continuing to twist. This time pulling the left hip away from the foot, twisting through that whole left side, grounding it down into the floor. 3 long, deep breaths here. And then carefully, when you're ready, release, bend the knees back together, lift those legs back up, catch them, open the knees wide and pull the knees towards the armpits. Maybe take a little rock side to side, if that works for you. Close them in, again, pull the thighs down towards you. And if you wish, lift your chin towards your chest and just curl into a little ball, shoulders relaxed. And then straighten your legs out, taking your hands up and overhead, drop them to the floor, take your feet for a little walk over to the left corner, taking your left heel on top of your right ankle, sliding the shoulders also to that side. I'm catching my right wrist and I'm taking a full side banana stretch through the body there. So ideally, everything's pressed down onto the floor. Really physically push your right buttock into the ground as you reach and lengthen. Feel like my triceps, under my armpits, down the rib cage as tight as anything. This is a massive challenge. I can feel my arms shaking from the resistance. And then when you're ready, ease it off, uncross, and simply go to the other side. Look at the heels to the right, shoulders also to the right, taking hold of that left wrist, crossing the right heel over the left ankle, and stretch. Try and drop the shoulder. And C-curve, be quite forceful. Push the left buttock into the floor. 2 more breaths here. There's my shaking again. I'm obviously a lot tighter than I realise in these side bends. And then when you're ready, ease it off. Woo. Uncross. Walk the legs back in, walk the arms back to centre. Inhale, fingers drift to the ceiling. We lift the chin, we roll up. Sit tall, take your hands behind you and turn your fingers away from you towards the back of the room. You can keep your legs fully extended here, or you can bend your knees, point the toes if you're keeping your legs straight, and lift your hips and chest up. If that's too much, you simply bend and lift. Eye gaze forward, up, or if your neck can take it, sink back. If your wrists don't like this, take your fingers to the side. Now push away and let's open out through the shoulders. As you can know, we've already opened the shoulders. This will help. That stretch will help this. Lift, lift, lift. And carefully release it. Pause. Release the fingers. Just take your fingers out to the side. Sit back a little bit and then take your left ankle over your right knee. Open the knee and then walk your hands back in and sit tall. So this is a buttock stretch. Now, I have very tight buttocks, as you know, so I don't go very far with this. You might want to slide that heel further in and then pull yourself up as tall as possible. So I'm sliding my shoulders back, pushing my chest forward towards that leg and trying to keep my buttocks down as I lift the spine. The more I try and elevate the spine without losing the contact with the floor, the more I feel that stretch in my left glute. So really focus. If you wish and you're really flexible, you might catch around that front shin and lift your chest closer towards the thighs. You take your pick. Take one more breath here. And then carefully soften through the elbows, release the leg back down. Just come forward, roll the wrists. Now we just did our fingers pointing out. Now we're going to immediately rotate, fingers pointing in. Legs straight or legs bent. We lift up here. Chest as high as you can. Squeeze the butt, press up high. Eye gaze up, forward or all the way back. Squeeze the shoulder blade, let's lift the chest, let's lift the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and good. Free the wrists, fingers pointing out to the side. Sit back a little bit, taking that right ankle on the left knee. Move your hands a bit closer, move your bottom closer. Just pull everything closer in, lift up tall, just exactly the same thing, but on the other side. Flex the foot and open that right knee. As you try and push your chest closer towards the thighs, but keeping your buttocks firmly down. The more you push into your buttocks, the more you feel that stretch. 3 breaths here. And then when you're ready, just ease it off. Release the foot. Rotate those wrists again. It's quite nice just to push them forward like that. And then push them forward like that. And if you are going to push them forward, just stretch a little bit further. Open the shoulder blade. And then just lower your chest down towards your thighs. Once you get there, let your hands just relax onto your feet or down by your side. You might want to open your knees a little bit. Find a place that's comfortable and just breathe in a very relaxed position for 3 deep breaths. And then you begin just to roll yourself back up and bring yourself into a comfortable cross-leg position. Fabulous. That's just flown by, that session. So that was like a non-stop moving Pilates to stretch, waking everything up. You should have beautiful open shoulders, open hips. Your spine should be beautifully straight. So sitting here should be very comfortable. Open your arms as we inhale, raising them up towards the sky. Bring your hands together, palms together. Straighten the arms, press them up towards the sky, making a really pointed triangle. And then as you exhale, soften through the shoulders, bringing your hands gently in front of your chest, giving yourself a bow, giving yourselves a clap. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.